I'm Jay Taylor. I'm the editor of a newsletter called Jay Taylor's Gold, Energy, and Tech Stocks here at the Metals Investor Forum. It's March 10th, 2022, and I'm really pleased to be with Leo Hathaway. He is the executive chairman and the co-founder of Golden Shield. It's a company that I have not yet covered in my newsletter. I'm looking at it prospectively to do so. So I'm really happy to have Leo with me. Thanks for joining me, Leo.
Yeah, nice to be here.
So Guyana, it's hot, sticky, humid. There's lots of mosquitoes, lots of snakes. There's lots of gold.
That's
too.
right. That's right.
And it's sort of connected geologically with the African, the western part of Africa, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
So, I know you've got a historical resource of something like 269,000 ounces. It's not yours. It's somebody else had worked on it in the past, I guess, right? And so that's a start. But just talk to us about the prospects. How large a system are you looking at, and how much do you understand about the geology of the system so far?
Sure. So we're in southern Guyana, and it's a greenstone belt that I don't think is very well understood. Marudi Mountain, which is our project, is the most explored prospect in the belt. There's been some historic drilling, which is where the historic resource comes from, but we're really looking for something much bigger. We've got a large land package, about 5,500 hectares. Mazoa Hill, which is where the drilling is concentrated, which is where the resource is the most advanced target, but we have 9 more. We started drilling right at the company's birth. We've drilled about 2,400 meters in 13 holes. We've drilled 7 at Mazoa Hill, and those are just coming. We're just releasing those now. And we drilled 6 at Toucan Creek, which is the next of the 9 prospects that we feel pretty good about, where we had some high-grade surface sampling up to 30 grams a ton. And the plan is really to work our way through those other 9 prospects and build a resource at each one, and also generate more prospects beyond the 9.
So they're real close to each other, those 9 prospects, and within how close are they?
Within Toucan Creek from Mazoa Hill's 1.5 kilometers. So
Okay.
they're all within a kind of 5 kilometer by 5 kilometer block. And geologically, the analog is Rosabelle in Suriname, which is an 11.6 million ounce gold deposit, and where there's a series of deposits within a similar area that comprise that resource.
And those 9 targets are considered to be part of the same system?
Yeah, it's a stratiform gold. It forms in a wide coarse bed, which is good because it would be very easy to mine. But it's been folded because the rocks are very old. They're Proterozoic, so that you need to find where the pieces of the original formation are.
Right. So you'll be doing a lot of exploration in that regard before you put the drill holes down, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. So there was a magnetic survey which was done by a previous operator right at the end of the story that's given us a really good geological model, and then we're going to go in and we've purchased an air core rig, and we'll drill down to the base of the saprolite with that, so we know we're sampling the top of bedrock.
Right.
And when we've got a gold anomaly in the right structural setting, that'll be a drill target.
So there is saprolite there. I know that's very typical of Guyana, those hot, humid environments. But that's not your primary target. You're really looking at ultimately at the hard rock.
Yeah, and the saprolite can be a bit misleading because the gold moves around in that environment.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can get anomalies that don't sit over hard rock targets. So, it's good in that sense because it means there's things to be found that other people might not have.
So you're only 27 million shares thereabouts, and so you're a minuscule market cap at this stage. Just getting started, you mentioned. When did you start working? The company?
We started trading February 22nd.
Oh.
So you're right. We've been very careful with the share structure.
Brand new company.
Yeah, it's tight, 30% held by insiders. And really the word's just getting out. So, I kind of feel like as the word gets out, I would hope the market cap's going to increase.
Do you have drill plans this year then?
Yeah, so we're as I said, we've got 13 holes done. They're on the way. They're in the lab and on the way to the lab.
Okay, so we haven't seen the results of there. It's one of the things we'll be watching for then.
Yeah, we've seen the results of the first 3 holes from Mazoa Hill, which had some interesting intercepts, and there'll be more coming out, and then we'll be restarting the second phase of drilling later in March.
And who, management owns a good chunk?
Yeah, management owns about 30%.
Leo, could you give me an idea of how well funded are you? And I know you're just starting out because, you're very small market cap, you're just a new company really. So how well funded are you, and then to carry out the drill program that you might have in mind for this year?
Sure. Right now, our cash position is about 1.6 million US. Our burn is about 200,000 US. So we can keep going until mid-year or beyond, but we'll probably look to finance in the first half of this year.
Mm-hmm. And you've done some metallurgical studies?
We haven't. Historically, Lakefield did some for a previous operator, and the sulfide ore was very leachable, around 90%.
Sulfides.
Yeah, which is unusual,
Yeah.
but could be important because that, of course, means you can fly out doré rather than have to ship a concentrate, which reduces a whole lot of costs and makes it more attractive.
How about accessibility? Because it's southern Guyana, right? And how do you get to the property?
It's a 2-hour flight from Georgetown, or about an 8-hour drive from Georgetown.
But there are roads that get you there.
There are roads there. Latem is about 4 hours away, and you're actually 60 kilometers from the Brazilian border. So if you cross over the border, that opens up other opportunities in terms of infrastructure.
Interesting. Well, I wish you well, and I will be watching the story for sure. And those drill holes that will be coming in, lab pretty well backed up, or how soon might we expect some assays?
I would hope that the first 13 holes, we've released 3, and I would hope that we have the remaining 10 out in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
So that'll be good information. Hopefully it'll help you figure out where you're going to drill next. I imagine you'll be using some of that information to help direct your drill.
Yeah, that's right. And that will, when we see that, if there's good targets to follow up on, then we might think about adding another drill. And we'll do that calculation, I guess, when we see that.
Well, it's a story. It's a news story, and I'll certainly be watching. I'm glad that you could spend some time with me, Leo.
Great to talk to you.
We'll tell our subscribers about it, possibly in the future.